it's dawn here at Stickletarn. I'm feeling a bit better today. I had a bit of a rough day yesterday, but I'm feeling a lot better today. And I'm in now what I call Polytunnel #1, which is the polytunnel where I keep, or what I call my tropicals, all the citrus trees, more delicate things that need a bit more protection. And today, last night we had a real hard frost, our first hard frost really of the season. So I've started bringing plants in. I started bringing them in the other week, ones that need a fair bit of protection over winter. And today what I'm doing is I'm putting up some insulation around the bottom half of the polytunnel to try and protect things a bit more. I used this insulation in the far polytunnel last year, and it did make a difference to the temperature. So that's what I'm doing today. This is the insulation. It's this silver foil. It's like a silver foil bubble wrap, so it helps to reflect light and heat back into the polytunnel. And like I said, I had quite a good success with it last year, so that's what I'm doing in this one this year, because I've got a lot more things in here to protect this year. And as some of these plants are quite pricey and they're now starting to mature and produce fruits, etc., I don't really want to lose them. The other plan will be, of course, here down the middle where I've got all the citrus growing, we'll put a bit of a framework in, and we'll run insulation around, fleece insulation around it as well, and that will give them just a bit more protection as well. So yeah, so that's what I'm up to. The polytunnels haven't been washed down yet, so that'll be a job for another day. So I'm going to crack on and do the insulation, and I'll show you how I'm fixing it in place. Right, so the insulation comes halfway up the polytunnel, and all I'm doing is cable tying it to the frame. In the other polytunnel last year we slipped it behind the frame, but that was a real nuisance to get out afterwards, and we ended up tearing a lot of the insulation. So it's being tucked down behind the boards here, and yeah, so it's all going to be fastened along. So I've just got to go down that side, round to that end, and then we'll repeat it on the other side of the polytunnel. This stuff comes in big rolls, and I buy it off Amazon. And as I was clearing some of the weeds out of this bed, there was a couple of stray potato plants growing. So I've taken up the potatoes from them, and they're a really good size. Nice big potatoes. So I'm quite happy with them. That'll be a good few meals there that we've got. And in here, everything's divided up into smaller beds. That's a peach tree and the ginger there growing. And I've been top dressing the beds, so I put in once I've cleared any weeds, a bag of alpaca poo down, and I'm putting a load of wood chip on top. This is a dwarf plum tree. A bit of weed hanging there. And there's cut flowers, freesias, and other summer flowering bulbs in this bed as well. And it just shows how much protection the polytunnel gives, because the peach tree is still in leaf. You'd have thought with the frost it would have knocked it back, but not yet. And I've still got some of my tropical plants flowering out here, and still putting on lots of growth. So the polytunnel does give a lot of protection. The citrus trees, this little citrus tree here is my little lime bush, and he's got some limes growing on him. All this white stuff is the DE powder that I've been using against scale insect this year, and so far it's been quite successful. But we've still got lots of flower buds coming on the citrus. There's still a few canners in here that, even though I tried digging them up, I missed them. I've got a strawberry bed here. I've still got to sort the runners out. My Szechuan pepper. The grapevine, before I come down this end of the polytunnel with the insulation, I've got to pull that back, and I want to start training it to come up here. This one's a dessert grape, and I had 3 bunches of it this year, and they were really, really nice. The orange tree here, which has fruited ever so well for the past 3 years. Lots of nice oranges there. I think there was 15 I counted last on here. I've got a bit of pruning back to do. This is an edible passion flower, and I want to train that to grow up along the centre of the polytunnel. And I've got my little kiwi down there, which is going to be trained up along that part of the tunnel, going up that way. This is a Japanese medlar, which is coming on really well. I've got a little olive tree here, which I've kept in a pot for quite a few years. This year I decided to stick it in the ground. This lemon is forming some fruits, and the thing with the citrus is they fruit and flower simultaneously, and the fruits stay on it for a good few years. This is the blue sausage fruit, which as of yet hasn't flowered, but I'm hoping next year that it will start flowering and hopefully get some fruit off it to try. The pomegranate has already lost its leaves. There's just a few left hanging on there. And the prickly pear at the back, there is, you see the red fruits there? They're ready to pick. And these were the ones that flowered earlier, well, not so long ago actually. And in fact, them ones there, they haven't even flowered yet. So yeah, so there's a lot going on in here. And of course there's the pineapple plants. When I was cutting back in here the other week, I was cutting all the dahlias back, which are between the citrus trees, and that's where my pineapples that have fruited have been growing. And when I got down here, I found one that I'd forgotten. So this top is now ready. Pull that off. So that top I will plant. That top I will plant into a pot and grow on for another plant. The pineapple plants I've got growing at the moment from the tops earlier this year, I have got indoors, and they'll stay there until early spring. Then they'll come back out and I'll find somewhere in this polytunnel to plant them. So that's about it for here at the moment. It is just a case of putting everything away for winter. So I'm doing a bit of tidying up. The citrus trees I'll continue to feed through the winter. They're now being fed just once a month instead of every week, and they will just continue to grow, and then hopefully next year we'll have even more lemons and oranges to harvest. So that's about it for this polytunnel, but that's what I'm up to today, just putting this insulation up to try and give a bit more protection, and I'll start monitoring the temperature in here as well. And today so far it's about 18 degrees in here, so yeah, so it's quite a pleasant temperature to be working in. So that's about it from me. I'm going to carry on with my insulating, and I'll catch up with you later.